10 seconds.
Welcome to another ball-busting episode of Traumahead Sportz. On today's episode, we have one of Paintball's legendary captains, commentators, and longtime Traumahead brothers. Welcome to the show, Rich Telford.
Hi, people.
What's going on, my man?
It's amazing hearing that intro. Traumahead Sports. Welcome back to the industry, man. We've missed you guys. Welcome back.
Right on, right on. I appreciate it, brother. Like I said, I think a lot of people have been wanting you to come back and kind of hit it off a little bit. Some of our best episodes were me and you getting on them, you know, and not messing around.
I look
maybe
forward
not
to it,
getting
man.
them no slacks.
Yeah, events are always tough, but I always look forward to commentating with you at events. You know, sneaking away for a couple hours, watching the film, and just hanging out. It was fun.
Right on, right on. Yeah, we had some really good times, man. So I kind of wanted to see how you've been, what you've been getting into lately, and then we'll kind of get into some paintball stuff.
I've been amazing. Thank you. Just doing my usual thing. I have my wife is a runner. She's got a big race coming up next weekend in Monterey. She got second last year. She's been training really hard, so hopefully we'll get first next weekend. My kids are kind of killing it. I'm doing really well. Thank you, man.
Right on, right on. That's what you want to hear. That's what you want to hear, brother. So let's start it off, man. Where did you start playing, and talk a little bit about playing with the Ironmen?
I started off playing in Modesto, California, at a little field that went out of business a few years later, called River's Edge. It wasn't really a birthday party. It was like a karate kids' birthday party, I guess. And
Right
just
on.
like everybody else, rental party, got a 60, the old Tippmann pumps, and just went around and shot everybody. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. And your next step into paintball pro fame was what?
So my first team was Black Sunday amateur team, but we were like a pretty good amateur team. We played the national events. We started practicing against the Ironmen. That led to me getting on a Constant Pursuit, and then Constant Pursuit led me to going back to semi-pro and playing Bob Long's Ironman 2, and then the next season starting with Bob Long's Ironman. Played with them for some amount of time. Got a world championship. Learned a ton of stuff from Bob and from Phyllis and all the people in that organization, and then was lucky enough to go down to play with the LA Ironmen. And then after that, start Excessive.
Yeah, and Excessive. Yeah, it was a beast of itself, dude.
Yeah, it was fun. Good times.
And nobody in paintball had the type of brutal training camp that you held every year.
I'm Rich Telford. Welcome to Hell Week.
A lot of those guys aren't playing paintball now, and I talked to LaSoya there. I think it was last week, sometime maybe the week before last, and we were talking about players. Yeah, so I'll ask you kind of the same thing. Any of those players, like just say let's go back to Bob's Ironman. Any of those guys on there that you just think were just straight killers that maybe could have been playing at this type of paintball if they were here right now?
Yeah, I mean, on Bob's team, there was a lot of talented players. Little John was a really talented player on Bobby's team. Kevin Jackson, Ron Nelson, Billy Payne, a lot of good players.
I got you. And you fit in with those guys really well when you went there. You guys played good.
It was good. It was good paintball.
Yep. And what about when you became the captain of the Ironman and you made some changes down there in the California Ironman?
Yeah, that wasn't by choice. Shane Pistano was kind of transitioning out of paintball at the time, taking life stuff more seriously. And we didn't really have anybody else, unfortunately, that we could go to. So I kind of got stuck with the job. But I brought on all the young, talented guys I could in the area, and we did pretty well.
You brought on one of the youngest, most talented guys in the area, right?
Yeah,
I feel
I was
like
just talking to that guy a couple hours ago.
right on, right on. I hear you. Yeah, and so you guys have had a lot of legendary games. I feel
For
like
sure.
you've played a lot. One of my favorite games was that World Cup when it came down to being it was just you and Maddie Marshall in the back, and they were coming down on you, and you said, "Help me, Maddie." That's all it took. He rapped, shot a couple guys coming down on you guys. You won like a 2-on-5 or 2-on-6. And I sat back and was like, that's what backmen do.
The cleaning crew.
And it works out really well. One game was winning cup against Aftershock in the final game.
Yeah.
I remember you guys doing that. That was a huge game. And that's exactly what I mean. That's backmen coming together. And I just remember that.
Do you understand? Let me talk. We are the champions now. But you know what? It's nothing without the respect from everybody here. And that means winning the cup, which is another beast. Are you guys ready to be champions? Respect and the cup. Come on. Hey, this is a bond between all of us. A bond nobody can ever break. Brothers. This is the new man, a new air. This is a bond between us that nobody ever can touch, guys. Are you ready for it? Yeah. I'm ready for it. Are you ready for it? I want to hear a pow. Pow! Give me another pow. Pow! Give me another pow. Who's f***ing out? Who are we? Who are we? Let me hear it. Loud and proud. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Iron! We're family. Play like it. Your brothers rip the last.
Ironman and Shock. Shock Snake Man gets eliminated early.
He won! One in the right out! Michael, one in the right tape out! One in the right tape out! 9 up!
The Ironmen are talking it up. Shock losing players 3 at a time. Shock having a hard time with finding the defensive hold. The Ironmen are up big. Ironman win big and capture the world title.
You know, so what basically caused you to go from the Ironman and start Excessive up?
I certainly didn't go by choice. Di was going through kind of a weird time. Di was obviously the supporter of the Ironman, and some of the guys that were on the team were also working for Di or affiliated with. Matt was working there. Micah was on the team and got cut by Di, kind of not by us. And then Matt kind of got cut. So it was basically the sponsors were kind of controlling the team. We weren't controlling the team anymore. And that didn't kind of feel comfortable. And so although it was really, really hard to leave because I kind of, planned on playing on the Ironman for the rest of my career, I kind of had to go with where, I thought my friends were.
Team! 1, 2, 3, Excessive! Beat down City!
Yeah, and that made you guys a killer team. You were stacked with friends on that team. I know. I just know there was a lot of great players on there. Matt, Neil Eberly, John Richardson. You guys were super stacked. Rusty Glaze, One Shot. There's a lot of really good players on that team.
Yeah, a lot of really good people.
How about the best ones there? I know they were all good to you, but who in that team?
Yeah, everybody. Nikki's heart stands out to me. John's play stands out to me. Everybody kind of stands out to me in their own way. Like Micah was super helpful with kind of behind the scenes running the team. So everyone kind of stands out in their own way. A lot of legends on that team for sure.
Yeah, you think John Richardson might have been one of the most underrated players in paintball?
Honestly, if you underrated John Richardson, you're a fucking moron. Right? If you didn't know, if you watched John Richardson play paintball and you weren't like, oh, fuck, that guy gets all the fine. Yeah, look at him. He's like a fucking ballerina slamming people down the field. If you couldn't see that guy play paintball and think that he was one of the best that ever played, then you probably don't have a really good idea of what the high level paintball is.
Right. High paintball IQ. Yeah. Like you said, he'd go down there just slamming them in. Not like it was nothing.
It got to a point where it got to a point where every time, no matter what team I was on or he was on, I would get to the finals and I'd look across and he'd be over there and I'd be like, fuck, this is going to be a rough fucking finals.
Yeah, so Excessive being as good as you guys, you had a little rivalry. It was with Dynasty,
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yep, and I remember that Huntington Beach win you guys had 2007 or 2008, I think it might have been. And I just remember on the sidelines watching it was – used to everybody cheering for Dynasty. It was always that DYNSTY, but something changed there. The chant changed. A lot of things changed, and I think it was people were ready for maybe a new kid on the block, and Excessive was the new kid on the block that had what it.
Dynasty had been so dominant for so long that people were kind of like, "Hey, man, anybody that gives them a run, we'll cheer for them." It really didn't have anything to do with us. It was just the fact that Dynasty had been so dominant for so long that somebody wanted to see him kind of get knocked off the throne.
Yeah, don't sell yourself short, man. You've taken a lot of teams to winning times, man.
I know all you motherfuckers have it. What the smash these pitches into the ground. Team on three. 1, 2, 3, team!
Both breakouts, good teams. Thomas Taylor and Snake. Angel goes and tries to take a Snake. Looks like Thomas made it in. Angel's walking out. Looks like Brian Cole also got shot out of the corner. Dynasty's down 2 bodies out of the break. That's 3 bodies out of the break. There goes Ryan as well. That's Nikki and Rusty in the back center for an excessive. Rusty busting out to the Dorito side of the field. That's Quincy Boyles up there in the middle. Yosh Rao. Wow, Dynasty's down 3 players real early in this game. Excessive got all 7 players still alive. Here goes John Richardson with the run through. Gets Quincy, and that's it. Gets Quincy clean though. So now it's 6-on-2 with Yosh and Alex in the back 2 center bunkers.
And this is where the fun begins. Rusty Glaze at the Dorito now. It looks like Yosh and Alex are the last 2 Dynasty players remaining. We're waiting for the rest of the excessive players to get into the game. Rusty's up there on his own. He's got the line of communication open. He's telling them where they're at. Yosh is looking for something. Oh, and Thomas Taylor tries coming down, but Alex must have dinked him out on the Snake side. Yosh keeping his calm in a small little tempo while Rusty makes his way up to the next Dorito. This is where the battling's really going to begin. You see the referee laying down on the ground, telling the other ref to look at his back. I'm looking at his front. A little gun battle between those 2. Rusty thought he might have done something there.
Yeah, Rusty's really battling there with Yosh, which is real dangerous because Yosh is such a good gunfighter. What Rusty needs to do at this point is wait for the rest of the excessive players to catch up with him. He's basically playing 2-on-1 right here. Alex is shooting at him, Yosh is shooting at him. There's 4 or 5 other excessive players out there not doing a damn thing. So once those guys catch up, then Rusty can start gunfighting again. But right now, he's really scaring me. Just see a little bit of Yosh there. He's playing real tight. Alex is on the left-hand side. Both of them shooting at Rusty. Alex switches inside. Yosh and Alex are going back and forth. Here comes Neil Everly. Gets Neil and gets Alex. Nice run on Neil Everly. Good job, buddy. Nice run. And you can see Alex getting a couple extra, and then Yosh looks like he's not very happy about something. Guess it's the rub on Rusty's head.
The referee was there the whole time. You could literally see Rusty did not get shot by either player. Neil Everly came through while Rusty was still behind the Dorito and rocked them both. So there's no way they could have shot Rusty. That was a great game for Excessive.
That was definitely a strong win by Excessive. Dynasty's going to have to come back with some answers for the second game. Otherwise, Excessive's going home with the first place. Little known history that Dynasty's won every Huntington Beach event ever to this date. So it's going to be tough for Excessive to take away from him.
Like I said before the last game, it doesn't matter what team is on the other side of that field. We play our game, we win games. We come out here, we play the team with the best motherfuckers.
Let's go! Everybody, take a deep breath right now. Come go out there and play paintball. Be perfect, be clutch. What does he win? What does he win?
Beat those! Beat those!
Oh, there goes Angel Fregosa out of the break. Rusty Glaze takes the center 50 out of the break. Quincy Boyles gets shot in the middle. Now Dynasty's down 2 players. I don't think that they know that Rusty's there yet because no one's shooting at the bunker. No one's playing like it's hot. You don't hear him communicating about it at all. Rusty's real smart. He's going to sit in there, pick his shots. Looks like Ryan's going to be the next one to try to... Oh, and Ryan gets shot trying to take a Snake. Ryan, Rusty's center 50, waiting for that, man. You can't do that. Oh, just a couple extra. No big deal. Let's see who'll be the next. Oh, and Yosh tries to get out to the corner because they lost Brian Cole out of the break as well. Wow, this game is unbelievably fast. Dynasty has lost 5 or 6 players. Alex is, I think, the only player left in the Dorito. He shoots Rusty out. Let's see if he can pull off this. No, he's gone. Wow, that was an incredible victory by Excessive. 2 back-to-back games. The fans are going crazy. What a big turnaround from Huntington Beach last year or Huntington Beach the year before.
Great game for Excessive. You can hear the crowd going crazy. Have a lot of fans here at Huntington Beach. They've really done good. Excessive kicking a lot of ass last year. Starting out this year on the same page of music, man. Excessive, a great team and a good win. Dynasty's going to have to go back, regroup. This is their house. They've been in there. They've built it. They know how to play, and maybe they'll come back in the next tournament. We'll see them in Tampa.
Come on, boys! XSV! XSV! XSV!
Versus New York Energy. This is what
Thomas Taylor from Excessive. Just played 2 games in this dynasty for first and second. Beat them pretty bad both games. This last game, they shot me off the break and we shot their snake off the break, but they didn't expect us to take the center 50. Rusty had the game of his life, shot like 3 people, and it was over quick. Go Excessive for life, baby.
Rusty Glaze from Excessive. Just finished beating Dynasty in the Huntington Beach. They've won this event 3 years in a row, so pretty pumped about it. What we did different was I actually went up to the center 50 pizza. Previously in the tournament, they shot me out going there. And I used it a couple times later, figured it out, and we kind of put it in our pocket. Won the first game, so we had nothing to lose. If we lost this game, we could go to third. So I ran up to the pizza. They didn't see me. Was able to catch the snake refill. They shot Angel on the break, my team. Caught Ryan going into the snake. Shot BC right after. Caught Yosh running out, and all the other G's were pretty much mopped up at that point, and they weren't even ready for it. So first place, Huntington Beach, Team Excessive. Traumahead Sportz, out.
What about the Go Sports? And I know you like to announce, but how'd you like that? How'd you like doing it? Tell me a little bit about it.
I liked it and I hated it. Right, so it was tough for me because I couldn't really fully coach teams, which is kind of something I really enjoy doing on a regular basis. So the amount of time that it takes to do the Go Sports made it really hard to be able to coach a team. And then the days were super long, right? You get there at 5 in the morning, you leave at like 8 at night. But the commentating was a blast, man. Just watching the best people in the world play paintball and kind of go through the trials and tribulations, and having different people kind of come up and give you their perspective. I would love Joey Bluth when he would come up and kind of watch a match and kind of break down a little bit with me, like what he thought was going to go on, and just being able to see those perspectives and talk to those people was really, really fun.
And probably some of my favorite parts of watching Go Sports was that when different people stepped in the booth who actually had a paintball IQ and knew what they were saying and could actually kind of break things down and make it all make sense. And Joey's definitely one of those guys. Yeah.
For sure.
So I like Maddie of hitting all the professional points of paintball, and I like some of the people that come up there and talk, but I also like having a little bit of lightheartedness. If someone stumbled dicks out there or they trip on their nuts and we see it, we ought to be able to say that, not
because we've all done it, right? Yeah, 100%. We've all done it, right? It happens to all of us, right? Like you're supposed to have fun, right? And it's too long and too hard to be out there if you're not having fun. Like if you're just watching paintball for 8 hours a day, it gets pretty dry. So if you're not having fun doing it, it's hard to keep doing.
Brother, we know that. We've had to retake in the old days just to try to get it right, and it'd be in your living room. So, but we were grinding back then. I feel like we brought content right after the event to the next event. Back then, sure. Again, I thought we were one of the things that I could say your name. I could say guys on the team's name. They could get a DVD the next event. They'd take it back to their local paintball shop. They'd play it for hours on end, and they could tell people they were in it. They could show people what they were doing, even if it was an amateur team.
For us, it was the only way we got to see ourselves play paintball, right? There wasn't TV. There wasn't a webcast. There wasn't any of that stuff. Like if it wasn't for you guys doing what you did, like basically, we were living it. So we didn't get to see it from like the outside perspective. So we just didn't have that. So everyone was constantly waiting for the videos and waiting, because back then everybody kind of made a name for themselves by, winning big games, making big moves, kind of being heroes. And so they wanted to see that perspective from the crowd of them being a hero, and you guys let them fulfill that.
Nice. Yeah, that's kind of what we were shooting to do. Again, seeing the new, maybe the future pros, just like in semi-pro X-Ball right now. I feel like there's teams like the Wrecking Crew, that have tons of talent on there. Those guys are going to be
For
the
sure.
future pros. You know, the Jesters, those Bears, the Blast Camp, teams like those. You see what happened to Fit. What do you think about Fit, Rich? Let's talk about them real quick while I got you on here.
I think Fitz won the last 3 tournaments, right? So
Right.
they're doing something right, and they shoot better on the break than everybody else. They make good decisions on their gunfighting more consistently than everybody else, and then they communicate and play like a team. They really don't make any mistakes, and unless you can beat them by playing the pocket and pushing up the middle, if they force you to go outside, it's going to be really tough to beat those guys, and that's what they seem to do.
Right.
So
I
yeah,
got you.
I'm a big fan of anybody who plays paintball 3 or 4 days a week. I'm a bigger fan of those guys if they're successful. So I'm a huge fan of those guys.
And it seems like there's a lot or all homegrown talent there. They haven't
sure.
reached out very far to grab players. There's nobody paying big money to have somebody come there from somewhere else, you know.
Right now, they've kind of proven that there's 2 ways to have a pretty successful professional paintball team. You can either throw a ton of money at it, that's spending a minimum of $300,000 to $500,000 a year, up to $1 million, or you can get a group of guys that are dedicated enough, that can stay together long enough, that are willing to play 4 or 5 times a week for as long as it takes until they're as good as all the other guys.
Right. And we've seen in the past that those big budget teams don't always do good.
It's weird. You watch these teams spend the money, and they spend all their money on players, but they don't spend their money on the organization, right? Like there was a guy named Vic that was working for Dynasty, and this year he's not pitting for him anymore. But what he did for the pits for Dynasty was, better than everybody else had. The AC unit that Fit has in their pit, that's better than everybody else has. Like there's a lot of big things going on in the industry right now that you like everyone's kind of getting behind.
Right on. Yeah, I like that homegrown idea. Like I said, I've seen those big money teams fail. See them get right there to the top, and especially someone who hasn't been there, and then they'll buy players or they'll make some random moves. And we saw a lot of big moves this year in the NXL.
For sure, and a lot of money being spent.
That's right. And I'm a fan of it. I love that format as well of paintball, but the repetitiveness of it, I don't like the fact that they get to see the layouts and practice them,
I agree. And every year they talk about that, and every year everyone's like, yeah, we shouldn't see the layout, right? Like we want to, if you don't want to have boring paintball, right? So you're not doing the same thing over and over again. Don't let a team get 100 points on the field before you play it, right? Because obviously they've got their pattern set. Like let them learn the field, and and the biggest argument for that is the middle of the ranked teams or the lower ranked teams, they can compete with the top level teams if the top level teams don't get to practice those fields for 5 or 6 or 7 days before an event. Like the bottom ranked teams, the middle ranked teams are only playing it maybe 2 or 3 days ahead of the event. The top ranked teams are playing it 3 times that, and it makes it almost impossible to compete. If there's no layout, everyone has the same advantage or same disadvantage.
Right. And I think a lot of the pro teams will practice 2 weekends before the event on the field layout against other pro teams. So, they're really grinding it out. But yeah, I kind of like the blank layout, so nobody kind of knows that blind field out. So I kind of dig that the way it is. But
definitely makes the first 2 days of paintball a lot more action filled. By Sunday, they start figuring it out and slowing it down a little bit. But Friday and Saturday, it's just train wrecks. People trying to figure out how to play the field and how not to play the field. And that's that's what you want, entertaining paintball, right? Like in the end, the better teams are going to win regardless, but it's not as entertaining if the better teams win by crossing it up after they get up by 2 points every match.
Yeah, because I feel like the days of going out there and seeing every pro team walk in the fields, that when we get there, getting on your knees, looking at every angle, that's an old style paintball. But I wanted to talk to you about the resurgence, of course, of mechanical. And it's kind of taken a lot, like I said last time, I think it's taken a lot of old guys off of the couch who slowed down because X-Ball or whatever was speeding up so much. And you weren't a super athlete, midget with a rocket in your ass and a machine gun in your hand,
You want a
X
little
ball might
cyborg.
not have been the game for you,
Yeah.
and
Well,
so there was
and
a
even
lot
if
of
it was
guys.
for you, it might not have been for you and 2 of the 3 of your friends that you really like to play with, right? Like, because that comes
Exactly.
down to a lot, right?
Right. Yeah, so that
Yeah.
made a huge difference for us. And in mechanical, I think I see so many old guys out there that are still
Dude, it's
getting
so
down.
much fun, man. It's so much
Yep.
fun. And honestly, the mechanical is like if the NXL is this, right, whatever this is, the
Mm-hmm.
mechanical is the opposite of that, right? Where you get to the NXL and you get there and everyone puts their lab coats on and they go out and they measure every little blade of grass and they've got every little bounce shot dialed in so that they can put 6 cases of paint through a bounce shot. And then the mechanical guys are, cracking a few beers, having a little fun, relaxing. Like, it's completely different. And somewhere in between those two things was where paintball used to be, right? Like, we got to the tournaments, we would take it totally seriously, but also, we went to the titty bar the night before. We had a few drinks. We had a good time. And
Right.
it's not like that anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just
So
bring the fun back, guys. That's all I'm saying. Just bring the fun back.
yeah, so I think we've been doing that now in mech, and I think that
Yeah,
they've
for
kind of
sure.
got the point that that's what we want to have. So yeah, mechanical. I see LB, I see Travis, I see
Yeah,
Frank
the,
Connell, I see
the guns are
so many
fun. Yeah,
old
all the
people
guys
out there.
all the guys are, and it's the same thing. It's like if you were good back in the old days, you're good now. If you suck back in the old days with mechanical, you suck now.
Yeah, you still suck, man. You're
You
exactly
still
right,
suck.
my
You
man.
can hang out just like back in the old days, but don't pretend like you're good because you're not.
I love it, dude. I love it. So listen, man, I want to wrap it up when we put out a poll this week and kind of had some viewers put some questions down that we might want to ask you. So the first one came in and it was, what are your thoughts on X-Ball versus more traditional format? I almost think that's kind of what we went over just now for him.
Yeah.
So
Globally speaking, I like a longer, narrower field, kind of like the 7-man fields better. Because I think you get more of a back and forth. I like 7-man more than 5-man. I think the best of 3 7-man was like the ultimate format. I think you got lots of kind of good back and forth. You didn't, if you lost your first match, or first point, you weren't like blown out. So you come back, but it kind of give you all the aspects of the game. That was my favorite.
I got you. Yeah. So that question came from Tori Shrum. He's down in North Carolina. The next one is going to come from Cypress Greg, and he wants to know what's the percentages of white that you think you got away with versus the ones you got caught.
I never got caught.
Right.
But I got accused a few times when I didn't. But yeah, no,
Right.
I was generally, when you're standing in the back, like, you can't get as dirty as like, a guy crawling around the snake and stuff like that, right? Like, everyone's kind of staring at you. So, and luckily I had really good teammates, so I didn't have to cheat that much. I'm more of a principal cheater. Like, I will cheat. Like, if you cheat me, then I'm definitely going to go out and cheat the next game. But like, I'm not just going to go. I'm not going out there and cheating points. I'm trying to play good paintball.
I got you. Goes back to the days when we reffed each other.
Yeah, for sure, man. Like, you couldn't screw that guy because he'd screw you.
That's exactly right. It'd come back around. It would come back around. So one other guy is Chase Joseph Thomas, and he wants to know, what was your favorite marker?
The Matrix. The Matrix was autococker, like, heartstrings are on the autococker. Definitely, like, I love my autocockers. I love to shoot autocockers, but the original Matrix, which is like the grandfather of all the die guns now, before they shrunk down the volume, it was just, man, that gun shot so good. It just, like 290 to 310, just floated the barrels out there forever. With no eyes, you could shoot 22 balls a second, just nonstop. Mix a little nitrogen with a little CO2 and zoom, zoom.
Nice. That was the killer cocktail right there.
Yeah,
right
the
there.
All-American cocktail.
That's right. Maybe the Saberwolves. But his question was, did you ever have integrity? Like, are you kidding
absolutely
me?
Not. Absolutely not.
Nice.
You got time for integrity.
There you
Come
go,
on, man.
Jacob Bird. I definitely think he plays for the Saberwolves, but they're a great little organization.
Oh, I've definitely scumbagged those guys down in Mexico playing 5-man. in
Oh,
mechanical
okay.
works,
I knew
for
it.
sure.
All right. So there was.
I don't know who that dude
definitely
is, but I
some-
yeah, fucking around down in the woods with a bunch of friends. Yeah, I've definitely fucking done some dirty shit.
Okay. All right, old buddy. All right.
Just roll the guns, communicate. You know they're going to lock down the lanes. They're going to try to take territory, lock down the lanes. Find all the bodies. If you know where a body is, just call it out. If you know which way he's shooting, call it out.
This is time, man.
Stay
Don't try and be
alive.
perfect.
Roll
Call
the
out
dice.
with time. Call out with time. Hey, man. Be clutch.
Bodies are important, mother.
Get in there, G-Will.
Ups and G's, guys.
He's getting in the zone, baby.
Don't get lazy towards the end. We don't need to
Let's
get
go.
deep.
Let's go. Let's do this.
On 3 team, on 3 excessive, baby.
Like I said, man, I really appreciate you coming in and doing
Hey, thank
this.
you guys,
brother. It
man.
was awesome.
And welcome back. Anything I can do to help you guys out, let me know, man.
We love you
Thanks,
for sure.
buddy.
We'll
Love
get
you
you
guys
back
too,
on
man.
board.
Appreciate the time.
Welcome to another ball-busting episode of Traumahead Sports.